Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Well, hey guys, and welcome to the Whitfield Report Saturday edition. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, and joining me from what sounds like a high-tech computer mainframe station, somewhere in an undisclosed location, is my long-awaited, dead, but yet somehow live co-host, Apex Gamma. How are you doing tonight, sir? Well, we have no audio from Apex, so at this point I can hear his, I guess, static on his mic going, but I cannot actually hear him. So maybe, oh, heard something there.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you doing tonight, Apex?
I am having some technical difficulties apparently, but I'm doing all right, buddy. It's been too long. Hello, chat.
It has been too long. So we have we have Ash B here who says if you drink and smoke while pregnant, you might shit out a supermodel. Which we will get to that in just a sec. That was one thing I forgot to mention, and then
excellent.
And then Laura B says howdy.
Hi, chat.
And we love Laura B and we love Ash. So I think Lorelai, who might be the most dangerous woman on the internet, I think she might be watching as well.
Hi, Lorelai.
And for all we know, that might mean Mr. Aim himself could be watching. I don't know.
Let's not get our hopes up. But we talk enough interesting things. You know, you never know what you're going to get here on the Whitfield Report.
Oh yeah. Speaking of interesting things, Canada, right?
Whew, holy shit, bud.
That thing started out as like a meme with the honk honk, and now now people are honking. Now the cops are just dragging people through the streets and arresting them. In fact, one lady got trampled.
Yeah, a cripple lady, one of your fellow kinsmen.
Yeah, and apparently they're accusing another cripple of like throwing a bike or something at the police officers, because apparently cripples can do that now.
Yeah, cripples have it's like autism. You guys have superpowers.
Yeah, well, it's like retard strength or something. So I'm going to try to show this video. I don't know if I can or not. Oh shit, they actually kept this video up. Who knew? Yay, my saved video is still here. So I don't know if you can see that on screen, but
I can't.
Oh, hold on. Okay, show on stream. And it's buffering. Terrific.
I sound really weird on this stream. I'm not sure why. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and so maybe they are taking videos like this down. I don't know. Because this thing is just buffering like a mofo. But anyway, from what I can tell, it seems as if people were just, peacefully protesting the mandate in Canada, and everything was going pretty smoothly. And then Trudeau, being the faggot commie pussy that he is, decided to sick the police on his own people. So
Well, yeah,
apparently,
he enacted the like emergency war powers, didn't he? That have like never been enacted, like ever.
I was on a stream last night, and apparently that's what happened. He activated like some weird thing for like domestic terrorists or something like that. So apparently, truckers are now domestic terrorists, according to him, from what I understand.
Yeah,
So,
basically. Well, and worse than that is oh, there we go. There we go.
oh
It's
yeah,
up
there
now.
we go.
I'll I'll,
So,
I'll reserve I'll reserve my comments. Go ahead.
so yeah, apparently, um, there has been footage that surfaced last night of a Native American woman, Feather Not Dot, trucker, being trampled by the horses. So yeah, for all his talk about multicultural diversity, Trudeau has no problem trampling the Indians like a Texas Ranger when they oppose him.
I'm sorry, but I have to point out the mal. I don't even know if it's a malapropism, but the fact that you used Native American for Canadian Indigenous people, and then had to just differentiate feather, not dot.
Well, I mean, it's 2022. You
That's
can
when you
never.
say Indian, though. If you're like the Indian folk, feather, not dot. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm just giving you.
it's 2022 Apex. I mean, shit. They have me having. They've got me diving through so many, like politically correct terms. I'm just out here trying to cover my ass.
That's right, Sammy. Welcome to the Roaring Twenties, where you gotta say he, her, shim, she, and goddamn whatever else.
So, and
Dots and feathers.
also,
Anyway,
hello, Lorelai. You're not late at all. We're just, you know,
we're doing what
we're
we do.
we're just doing what we do. So,
Thank you for joining us, though, Lorelai, if you're
welcome.
still out there.
Um, so
Oh, Warfist in the chat too. What's up, buddy?
call them.
Call them savages, so we know what you're talking about.
Well, Warfist. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but our audience is called savages, as in Sam's savages. So I mean, you're savage, and everyone in the chat is a bunch of savages. So
Because we're all Native American. The feather, not dot.
right, right, exactly. We're all in Indian now. But anyway, yeah, this Indian woman got trampled by a horse. So and I'm gonna say feathers mostly.
What's this lady doing? Trampling. Trampling horses. Trampling. Stop it. Stop it. Look. Oh my God. They just trampled this lady. They just trampled that lady. They just fully trampled that lady. They just fully trampled that lady. There's the lady. There's the lady that was trampled. Yeah, the lady got fully trampled with a horse. What the fuck is wrong with you? You just got crushed by a horse.
So yeah, So yeah, these violent protesters. I love how the cops are just dressed in like full on riot gear too, to take on a bunch of truckers who were, what did they have? I saw bouncy castles and like you know I like lawn chairs and shit. I didn't see like a lot of heavy military grade armaments on those semi trucks.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, man, like Johnny Arcade, as usual, putting the point on the pencil here. It's like the over the last 2 years, we watched cities get burned across mostly this country, but across the world, but in particular in this country, in the name of Black Lives Matter and all that other shit, where politicians were bailing people out for burning targets down and shit like that, and it was called peaceful protests. That's the meme. Peaceful protest with the fire, a building on fire behind somebody. And now, the most peaceful of protests, like, I get that the horns can be offensive to your weak, pathetic fucking sensibilities in your ears, but they are not doing any harm. They haven't been. It's been exceptionally peaceful. I saw some tweets today about, you know, quote tweeting the Ottawa Police Department being like, "Oh yeah, it was all peaceful until you guys got there." Well, no shit, no shit. It's peaceful until the cops get there. The whole point of the cops at this point is it. They are a violent arm of the government. It's what it's what people have been saying for decades, except it's more true than ever. It's always been true, just more in isolated pockets of the country, big cities and corrupt municipalities and shit like that. But it's it's become more and more across the board. And Canada, as much as we like to make fun of them, they're right there, man. They're our neighbor. And
Yeah.
but
Well, no, I mean everything you just said is spot on, and I mean I'm not making light of the fact that the woman got trampled. That is horrible. I mean, I guess one of the things that was really kind of shocking, not necessarily to me because I'm not really surprised that any tyrannical government would do this, but I think a lot of people were kind of shocked, like, oh shit, this happened in, Canada, where everyone is supposedly like really nice to each other.
sure,
Yeah. And Johnny, you're absolutely right. Johnny Arcade coming again with another good point. And I was actually in a live stream last night with a couple of Canadians. And yeah, at some point, the government in Canada will take so much from these people that they will have nothing left to lose. I mean, I talked to a few people last night who are already like, yeah, Canada is already kind of there.
yeah, we're
So,
rapidly approaching that. But you could say the same thing about the United States. I mean, my company, the company that I work for, which is, as I've mentioned many times, is effectively they're a corporate entity. You know, they're they're like a mini Walmart, effectively, just not nearly. Anyway, it's the same kind of idea, but they ahead of the curve across the whole country recently, quietly at first, and then patting themselves on the back, dropped the mask mandate. So employees don't have to wear masks. It doesn't. You can wear one. The last time they did this, they said, the whole if you're vaccinated, you can stop wearing a mask. But they didn't test anybody. They weren't checking anything. It's just face. They were showing face, and now they're like, okay, all across the board, just you don't have to wear masks. You can if you want to. We still have this draconian fucking check into work type thing where before you get to work, you have to answer a series of questions as to whether or not you're sick or have been in contact. Like you're not a grown ass adult that can take these things into consideration for yourself. They're playing babysitter still, but even that, which is against the law as far as I am concerned and understand, there's always been a way around that. You can literally manually punch in your time uh, in the you, you punch in your numbers and it's like, oh, you haven't done your check into work. Well, You just click a different thing and then you manually put in your time. That's what I've been doing for 2 years. But they're still
Yeah.
doing that. But they dropped the mask mandates now. I think that's, you know, the fact that this, here in the states, every um, every state, especially the blue ones, are starting to drop all this shit because it's looking bad on the poll numbers. It has nothing to do with saving lives or any of that, as and most of the audience knows. But it is overwhelmingly fascinating to witness in real time. Like the shit that we've been saying, and this whole sector of people on the internet in real life have been saying for 2 years is now coming to pass. Like, and it's I don't know. I guess the point though that I was trying to make is, yeah, people have a breaking point, and I don't know what the fuck Canada's going to do, but the more they push on these people, the more support the people are going to get, and it's not going to be good for anybody that holds any kind of power in Canada.
No. And Laura B brings up a good point too. I never thought California would be more free than Canada during this nonsense. I can
No,
go
yeah, go ahead.
where I want, and the only place that requires masks are health-related businesses and schools. I mean, which to be fair, when it comes to like health-related businesses like hospitals and whatnot, I've never had a problem wearing masks in hospitals. I mean, I've always said that that's the one place where you should wear a mask, most likely. Um, and no, Whiskey Apex is not
Yeah,
underwater.
you called it. You called it. As soon as Whiskey gets here, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is up with Apex's audio?"
He's in a he's in like a high tech data center or something.
I'm in a hot air
Um,
balloon, actually.
yeah. Um, can you tell me how a man survives if he has no ability to use the financial? Well, that's the other thing, and that's actually something that I was going to suggest to Whiskey that you cover on your stream tomorrow, sir. In fact, this ought to be your top story because um, from what I understand, the Canadian government is going after basically anyone who has cryptocurrency assets or NFTs um, in possession. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not as familiar with crypto and the whole ins and outs of it as Whiskey is, but I mean that is a pretty dangerous precedent that Canada is setting there, and what's to stop Biden and all these other geriatric old fucks over here from doing the same thing? Nothing, as far as I can tell. So,
Yeah, well, I've seen like the crypto bros take, as far as my limited understanding goes, some L's recently, where um, between the Ottawa protesters and pending legislation. But certainly the Ottawa protesters were that one fucking faggot. Doxed everybody. And most of that was public information anyway. Like they put their public info on the donation site. It's not like they were hiding.
yeah,
But it's still like kind of, as far as I see as the layman, it's like, well, the whole point of this shit is to be, totally anonymous. But the government just flips a switch and they're like, oh, well, we know everything from everybody. But obviously it's not that simple. But I think it has something to do with managing your own finances or something like that, instead of using Coinbase or one of these other wallet, like coin wallets or whatever. I don't know. Again, that'd be a thing that Whiskey would know about.
yeah. Johnny says they can only freeze crypto on exchanges or if you cash out in their country. Yeah, and I mean that's the other thing is like on the stream I was on last night, people were saying to get their to put their crypto on like actual like hard drives or something because I guess that like that kind of keeps it from getting wiped. You know, it's like still in your possession or something. So, like I said, though, I'm not that knowledgeable on crypto yet. So,
Yeah.
I think the other interesting thing though is, it seems to me, and again, I know that this is Alex Jones, so take everything with a grain of salt, but the man was right once again, because it seems as if, uh I don't know this to be true, but he's saying that the government sent in bad faith, basically feds, or I guess Canada's version of feds, basically to, masquerade as protesters and basically start shit,
I
in
don't
order
think so. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
to spark the the violence from the police in order to justify it. And yeah, you said you don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't paid the utmost attention to every minute of the live streams and shit, but just like so many, even look, I'll even go as far as some of the Black Lives Matter protests a couple years ago. I don't believe that all of those were violent in their nature at the start. I
Oh
genuinely
no.
don't. You know, bad faith actors coming in to smash windows and shit and move the horde. But again, I haven't seen that in Canada. It seems like it's just been more and more truckers laying on their horns and people providing them with food and sustenance of whatever degree. Some people are support it to the degree that, again, they're walking around carrying them fresh baked fucking cookies, and the other half are sitting in the 20th story of their apartment filming a TikTok video of the horns and how they're losing their minds and how this is straight up terrorism. You have no idea. You have no idea. You know. So, I mean, and then of course, like I said earlier, once the cops come in, they are that their whole point is violence at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of their presence is violence. It has always been that way. I mean, that's the whole idea of authority, because the ultimate end goal is violence. You have it, or the threat of violence. That's been the whole premise of a military, of a police force, of any of it. You will have to deal with violent repercussions for your actions. That's
Right.
the basis of rule. It has been for a long time. But the whole authoritarian thing where we are now. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen enough on the ground footage. I've seen a lot, but not enough to really know what the fuck's going on there. Other than it's clearly criminal action by the government, freezing
Yeah.
assets and shit. And of all places, when France a couple of years ago started their, protests, the world was, and myself included, was like, holy shit, the French are standing up for themselves. And then
Right. Yeah.
now we're at Canada. Like, wait a minute, those maple syrup suckers are seriously doing more than we are.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, and I kind of had the same reaction, like 2 weeks ago it was, or hell, I mean, not even 2 weeks ago, more like 4 days ago, it was hilarious because you would go on Twitter, and literally like half my timeline was just like, people literally just tweeting out honk, honk, honk,
yeah,
and
and go ahead.
truck memes.
And just to veer off just a little bit here, they're freezing bank accounts of people that are in this protest, ex Canadian military and Canadian citizens of various sort for being in this freedom protest. Ghislaine Maxwell was just convicted of various sex acts, trafficking children and stuff like that.
Yep.
Still has a bank account. Jeffrey Epstein had a bank account. His assets were never frozen. And I credit to Lorelai for reminding me of this in the chat. But Another Epstein affiliate who got a picture on his fucking plane, died in prison, apparently a suicide, hanging himself while the cameras didn't work. Nobody's paying any fucking attention to that. Let's go honk our horns in the street, which is a good cause. It is, but it's getting all the attention. That's what people are paying attention to. While silently, where no one's looking, shit's getting wiped off of the board. It's going to get
Yeah.
memory hold.
Yeah, that's and I'm not necessarily saying that all that stuff is like planned that way. I'm not one of those people that thinks that everything is like planned, out and that everything is a simulation. But I do think that, hey, you know, people are distracted. Why not take care of this other thing over here?
Well, exactly. Like, I mean, there's been numerous politicians. I mean, I guess most recently would be that idiot from Chicago that said something to the effect of, never let a good tragedy go to waste, kind of thing. So they're always looking for an opportunity to slide some shit under the table.
Yeah.
So yeah, these January 6th, are you kidding me? They fucking they puffed that fucking fire as big as they could, and they continue to. COVID, they did the same thing there. You know what I mean? They just keep blowing this shit up in our faces. Look here, look here, look here, while they move the pieces off to the side.
It was weird, and this could have been a glitch. I don't know if it was or not, but someone was saying that all of these truckers, oh, they're all anti-vaxxers, right? That's one of the arguments. So I would have found an article from the Wall Street Journal like yesterday or something that says that a lot of these protesters are vaccinated, right? But they're against.
Canada's the most vaccinated country in the world, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're all vaccinated, but they're against the mandates. So I tried to send that to, my friend on Facebook, and for whatever reason, even though it was from the Wall Street Journal, not like some crazy, InfoWars website, but a mainstream fucking, news source, it got, it failed to send or something like that. And maybe it was my connection, but I find it funny that that was the one article, to kind of prove my point that, these people are all vaccinated, but it's against the mandate. And that one didn't send. So
yeah. I mean, it is kind of a clusterfuck for the people in charge, or the people running the show, I would imagine, because I get, and so many other people get the scheme. We all see it. Like I was just saying, it's like, hey, look over here while we do this over here, and there's tons of people that see that sleight of hand going on. We've been called conspiracy theorists and nutballs and everything else for a long time. Now, admittedly, there's a great good handful among us that are that, just literal fucking nut jobs. But it's becoming less and less of a stigma, to veer away from what they say on CNN and to talk to your friends about what you think is actually going on. Like, it's not nearly as crazy as it was even 10 years ago, So, as I've said countless times on this show, especially in the early days, I have faith in not just the American way, but the human spirit. When it comes down to all this, there's going to be a lot of pain and suffering ahead, but I have the utmost faith in our ability to overcome. But what are you laughing at?
I saw a meme that I want to share with you because to me this sums up 2022 just so well, and really everything that we've been talking about for the last few years here. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so someone sent me this meme, and I and I have I've gotten this, so I haven't gotten this specific meme, I but more and more people have texted me in the past few weeks, like IRL people I know who once thought I was crazy, who literally now have this reaction, to
Yeah,
what I've
and let
been
me
saying.
let me dictate this for the audio podcast. It's a
Yeah.
couple of cartoon boys. One's got his shoulder on, or his hand on the other's shoulder, and at the top it says, the headline is, "How should you talk to your friends about and relatives who believe conspiracy theories?" And then the boy with his hand on the other boy's shoulder says, "Hey, bro, you were right about everything. I'm sorry."
Yep. And I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one who has, had people say that. I mean, maybe not literally, but like on a lot of the mask mandate stuff, people have said, "Holy shit," the government is taking this shit too far, So, I mean, I guess it is good if we want to look at it in a positive way that people are waking
Ooh.
up. But the problem is, is it too late? That's always the question, right?
Ooh. Um, I'm DMing you what Johnny Arcade just sent on Twitter, or sent from Twitter, from
Yeah.
Ezra Levant from what is that, Rebel Media or something.
Uh-huh.
This is the most scandalous story of the trucker rebellion. It says a WhatsApp chat group of the Mounties boasting about the cruelty and violence they plan to use against peaceful protesters and laughing at injuries done to civilians. This was leaked by one of the honest cops still in there. So
Let me see what this is. Okay. Yeah, let me pull this up on screen. So, oh yeah.
let's
Wow.
click the quote tweet and see what's going on there.
Okay. We
I think
might, yeah,
ours.
we might have to click into this article here.
Yeah, I'm
So,
clicking into it right now because I'm curious. So,
okay, let me see if this tab. Okay, no, it's still showing up on.
in what appears to be authentic screenshots from the RCMP musical ride team currently in Ottawa to assist the crackdowns on peaceful protesters in the city, members brag about using brutal force. Over the last 24 hours in Ottawa, police have deployed pepper spray and canisters on demonstrators, arresting dozens and trampled 2 people with their horses. Shot at close range of pepper spray. I'm not seeing any screenshots. Oh, wait, there they are. Heroes. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, down below that, there's actual screenshots. There you go.
Oh. Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't. So far, anyway, it doesn't seem that egregious. Oh, it's time for the protesters to hear our jackboots on the ground. Wow, 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 Nixon. This is a kinder, gentler RCMP. Okay, we can give out free hugs and unicorn stickers. Why not? You guys are fags anyway up there in Canada. Especially the fucking fag police that ride horses. Come on. Come on.
Who got? Oh yeah. So
Oh,
they're
shit.
planning on who's going to be like ganging up on people and whatnot, right? I don't know if you could see
Yeah.
my cursor here, but it's kind of like hey, who signed up for Monday night? Uh,
Yeah. And even below that, somebody says, um, just watched that horse video. That is awesome. We should practice that maneuver. Agreed. Cops are
Wow.
fucking scum, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what's going on in Canada, I guess.
Yeah. Yeesh. And then I know that shit's been going on with the Olympics, but to be honest, dude, I it's not that I don't, well, honestly, because the Chinese are hosting it, I don't give as much of a shit about the Olympics
That's
this
the only
year.
reason I've paid any attention. And when I say attention that I've paid, it's been very little, and it's been on all the funny and negative things that have happened. In particular, just so many of the screen caps that you can pull if you just type in 2022 Winter Olympics into your Google search bar. You will find ski jumps in the middle of a fucking nuclear. It looks like an episode of The Simpsons, dude. Like there's nuclear steam stacks right behind with the Beijing 2022 logo on them. Like
Yeah.
it looks like a post fucking nuclear wasteland.
Y-
Um, Go ahead.
Yeah, no, some of my neighbors and I were, we got together for the Super Bowl as we do every year. And after the game was wrapped up and whatnot, they had the Olympics on because it was NBC and whatnot. And
Sure.
one of my neighbors who, is an old Vietnam vet and who, I don't know that he worked like in a nuclear facility, but he kind of that was the type of stuff that he did, in Vietnam. So, he knew his way around some of that material and whatnot. And he basically said, that's holy crap, that's a decommissioned nuclear power plant that they've got there right behind them.
Yeah.
So
And China is fucking huge and it is beautiful. There is so much beauty in China. And that's one of the things I don't personally understand is China. They're a paper tiger. You know, everything they do that is dependent on face. It depends on how it looks. You know, that they're considered. All they care about is, the optics, quote unquote, as it's called. So that's confusing. But not only, I mean, the post-industrial wasteland scenery was one thing, but we had a couple of American citizens that resigned their American citizenship. People that were born here in America with Chinese parents, one or both, and resigned their American citizenship to be Chinese citizens, to specifically to compete for China in the Winter
I
Olympics.
yeah, I heard a little bit about that, but I wasn't too familiar with what went on.
Well,
What went on with that.
there's it's a two-pronged story, as kind of interesting, but uh, so I don't remember what that. One of them was a like figure skater or something,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're both females. The two stories that I know anyway. Eileen Gu, I believe, is the. Let me look that up. Yeah, Eileen Gu, Chinese American Olympic skier, and then the other bitch who you can't even find on a Google search because Eileen Gu is she's cute. She's like 20 years old and she's really good. And I think she won gold or silver or something. But the other girl fell on her like during her routine or something and was just admonished and absolutely scoured by the Chinese people. She's like a failure. There was a failure and a success story. And like the Chinese people were like, fuck, like fuck this bitch, go back to where you came from, kind of thing. Wow, it's the same place that this Eileen bitch came from. America, but one won and the other fell. And the reaction amongst the Chinese people is fascinating. And I mean, and I guess not really, but again, it just goes back to Chinese being all about face. They're all about uh, perception, how the world perceives them. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much insight.
Yeah, I mean, I I find interesting here now for the folks listening to the audio version of the podcast. When we're live streaming this at 11 p.m. on Saturday,
The 19th
um,
of February.
the 19th of February, it's looking like the U.S. is in fourth behind China in terms of medals, and that might not mean anything now, but I do find interesting that, to kind of Apex's point, the Chinese have more or less co-opted people from our
Yeah.
country to come over to
Bro,
their side.
bro, clear out that 2022 Winter Olympics and type in Chinese speed and see what it autofills as.
Chinese. You said Chinese speed?
Yeah.
Chine. Okay,
Oh, look at that.
Chinese.
Speed skater cheat. Click on that. It's the top fucking Google search. That's amazing. So yeah, they also cheated in a bunch of things too, like very clearly and obviously. Um, yeah, there's people kicking and swiping skates out from under each other. But I was just curious what your Google search came up with because it autofilled for me. So yeah, they cheated a bunch. They stole some of our athletes, and they're China, dude. They suck. They suck so bad.
Yeah, and I don't know if I told you this if I told you this story. Um, well, actually, you know what? I don't think I can share this on stream. It's a good story. I don't know if I can share this on air for actual national security
Oh, okay.
re- reasons. So but yeah, let me just put it this way. What I can say on stream is that it doesn't surprise me that the Chinese are co-opting athletes because long story short, they have been trying to co-opt American intelligence assets for years.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And they have,
So
and they have done so.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, to me, it's just really kind of fishy that they've had the Olympics. That I mean, they just had the Beijing Games, the Summer Olympics,
Uh huh.
15 years ago. I mean, granted that was 15 years ago, but in the grand scheme of things, like that's not that long ago.
No, I'm
And
actually. That's one of the things that gives me hope is China. They're fucking retarded, dude. And the socialists at the people at the top are some of the dumbest, and they think they're smart. They certainly have smart people in their country, but the nature of their power structure, Xi Jinping is going to burn that whole fucking thing down, and it may take decades, but those people are going to come out of it. They're deathly afraid of Christianity. Deathly afraid of Christianity. They're afraid of religion, period. But
yeah,
Christianity being the most uplifting, universally uplifting religion that the human race has ever seen, you know.
well, I find it funny that and at first I thought that this was just like a meme on the internet, but apparently China actually did in fact ban South Park because they got offended by the Winnie the Pooh,
Oh yeah.
uh, you know, which that is fucking hysterical. Uh, that they were that butthurt by Trey and Matt that they fucking banned South Park
Oh, dude,
from China.
I'm glad you brought South Park up because they just started their 25th season, and it is funny. There's only 2 episodes released when I saw it, but let me paint a picture for you in the audience without spoiling anything. You know Token?
Oh yeah.
Token, right? Token, the black character. Well, episode 2 entirely is about how his name is actually Tolkien, like J.R.R. Tolkien. And everyone, Stan in particular, has been calling him Token and thought his name was Token. And they're like, what the fuck? That's racist as shit, dude. Why would we name our black son Token? So it's very woke. It's very woke lean. It's so funny, dude. I enjoyed the shit out of the most recent episodes.
Did you get a chance to watch the post-pandemic special yet?
No, where they're all old. No, because I mooch all of my streaming services off of people, and I don't know
I
anyone's Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I can listen. I can't I cannot guarantee you that I can give you my Paramount Plus login, but I might know someone who can give you a Paramount Plus
Copy that.
login. But yeah, lo and behold, it's hysterical because it's all the kids basically
As adults,
grown
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
as
saw Cartman was a fucking a Jewish a Jewish priest, whatever the fuck they're called.
a
A
rabbi, and
rabbi, yeah, that's it.
they actually have the funniest thing is I mean I guess this isn't really a spoiler, but just one of the funny things they do is it's the future, right? But it's also like for some reason in the future we go back to the 1980s in terms of fashion and whatnot. So Token becomes a cop, and he basically he becomes the black guy from Miami Vice,
Oh, nice.
basically. So and yeah, it's I was kind of like, is it really going to be that good? But no, it's. I'm glad they did a full like movie of this because it is hysterical. So,
Yeah.
and speaking of hysterical things, my friend, it has been too long since we've talked. So holy shit, man, what do you think? What did you think of the Medicare?
Oh,
Merch porcelain.
the porcelain Medicare conversation about Mersh. I I I mean, it was entertaining for one, just to start out. It was awesome, but it's one of those things that's going to be very rarely recreated in all of like the internet, because porcelain is a prominent, albeit niche, he's prominent in our corner. He's a prominent documentarian. He's very good at it, and he's done excellent work on a lot of really funny people. You know, and Medicare, that's his whole career on the internet, is laughing at retarded people on the internet. And just listening to and slash watching Porcelain introduce Jim to the layers that are Mersh, because Mersh has got the whole Jim doesn't have fake cancer thing, and Jim's made fun of him a couple times on stream recently. So it's like a perfect aligning of stars. And you know, there was there wasn't a whole lot in the conversation that I wasn't aware of. There was some things, because
Yeah.
I'm not a Mersh expert. I don't know all of the sort of details of his life, but uh, yeah, there was some Owen Benjamin talk, which gave me some nostalgia. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
But no, go ahead.
John Arcade says here in chat, I enjoyed that Jim liked the Teddy Spaghetti stuff so much. Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, that was that. That literally had me like clapping in real life. Like that's my nigga that came up with that. You know. Um,
yeah, yeah, no, I mean that was one of that was the fact that Jim just was laughing his ass off about that was hilarious. And I mean at one point too, if I'm not mistaken, I do think that I could be wrong, but I know that at first Mersh gave Johnny credit for Teddy Spaghetti, but then I do remember at one point he actually did try and take credit for Teddy Spaghetti himself. So,
yeah, I don't.
um,
I'm not sure about that, but I will say that it gave me. I was already excited for the merch doc, but it gave me even more excitement because that thing was almost 5 hours long, and I had to listen to it in a couple of parts, but the whole
yeah,
way through. And the only, honestly, it's not even a criticism, but Jim tries to make jokes a few too many times. That's the only thing I would say. Some dad joke type of shit, like every time, he's the whole conversation was like him trying to make a joke, which is fine. They don't always land though.
yeah. I mean it. Yeah, I mean to me that's kind of Jim's whole thing though is that he
Mm-hmm.
makes he's like your cool uncle that you hang out with all
Or
you
your
know.
or your lame uncle that you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, just leave, get me away from him because he's constantly trying to be funny and he is funny, but you're a snarky ass fucking teenager and you think you know better.
Um, yeah, I mean, and then I think what's even funnier is that Merch was talking, so much shit on Jim for, months, and then just recently, I saw that I guess he's been trying to walk it back, and he was like, well, I don't actually listen. I've always liked Jim. I don't
Yeah.
actually have an issue with him. I listen. I just think it's retarded that he's going after someone like me, and I'm a nobody, right? Um,
Yeah. Well,
so
and one of his Mercer's tweets recently, saying how he was the type of kid that would get his ass whooped at school and go home with a big smile on his face because he liked attention,
oh
especially the
yeah,
negative. So all these fucking nerds out here that think they own him make his dick hard. So
that was weird. Just
no,
to
it actually makes a lot of sense, dude.
Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I quote tweeted it and said, "Wow, this explains a lot." But I mean,
Oh,
even so, that's
yeah.
just that. I mean, it makes sense, but it makes him even weirder.
Well,
As
if he's gonna play this, I'm gonna lay all my stupidity out in front of you all, and you're gonna pay me for it. I mean, props to him for going all the way.
I mean, the other thing that I've heard him say that it has also kind of given me pause for a bit, and I don't know who else has picked up on this, but in regards to Medicare's fake cancer and whatnot, I've heard him say one day I'm going to have actual cancer that will actually be terminal. And the way like Mersh talks about it, he's like he's treating that as if it's like going to be like a win for him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, how the fuck is he going to get more donations than when he has cancer? He equates Jim and all the money he's made to being a. That's why he calls it fake cancer, because it doesn't matter to Mersh whether or not he has cancer or not. It's the fact that he came out and said that he had it, and all this money comes pouring in. He's Medicare was entirely against Merch for a long time till he was till sometime after he was diagnosed with this autoimmune disease, and the hospital bills started. This is the way I picture it. I don't know this for a fact, but hospital bills started piling up. He's like, all right, well, fuck it. There's 20,000 people that come in here and join me on a live stream, and will donate $10,000 fucking dollars on a 2-hour stream collectively. If they want a hat, why shouldn't I make some money off of that too? And he got corrupted by the capitalist in him, I guess you could say. But I think Mersh genuinely sees Medicare as a model to go to make himself after, whether it's fake cancer or real. If he could get real cancer, that's why he saw it as a win, or portrayed it as a potential win. Because if he got actual cancer, do you have any idea what he thinks the money would come in from that? Not just from his regular supporters. It's a real thing. It's a real diagnosis. He could spread his fucking tendrils far and wide into the internet to get donations. Even if he died miserably, he wouldn't have had to pay for anything.
I mean, I guess, okay, let's say that Medicare did in fact set up the whole Teespring to pay for, bills because of cancer. I mean, that's still more admirable than what Owen Benjamin was doing with Eric Nimmer, which is, hey guys, my friend Eric Nimmer has cancer. Please, please donate to him. And if you criticize his comedy, well, then you're a horrible person. And turns out that, that dude never had cancer. So.
Right.
And
Johnny
Johnny
Mersh lives in Section 8 housing. He posted a video the other day on Twitter of his new phone that wasn't working all of a sudden, and for some reason on his stovetop, where there's a bottle of pills and a charger just dangling over the burners on the stove.
What you don't keep Adderall in your kitchen, Apex?
No, yeah. I mean, I guess if I'm gonna try and cook it down into some sort of magical concoction, yeah, I'll have my pill bottle there. No, there's no reason I would have my fucking pills in the kitchen on the stovetop, unless I was trying to make it obvious that I had those pills, which is, again, I would not put that past him.
I mean, he could be trying to make it obvious, or he could just have forgotten about that he had those, in the shot, because he's not that bright. I mean,
I genuinely don't think he's that stupid either. I think he's very dumb, and his brain is rotten from the the whole grifting mentality or approach that he's had to the internet for so long. But I don't think he's totally brain dead. I think if he's going to post a video of anything or a picture of anything, I think he's well aware of what's in it, and how at least a couple of angles of how it could be perceived. So posting, again, I cannot imagine, unless it has to be like a look. I got pills. Check this out. My phone's fucked up, y'all. But look, there's pills back there. I'm fucking cool. I'm a fucking cool ass guy, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Johnny also asked the question, what will Mersh get first, cancer or laid? Well, Johnny, there are some disturbing developments there.
Well, hold on, man, because I know some absolute fucking trash ass pussy out there. I have met so many of them. It is not hard to get pussy
No.
if you've got anything, a car, some sort of income, all of your teeth, none of your teeth. Fuck, it doesn't. If you've got a dick that works, doesn't even have to work. There's pussy for everybody out there, and if you've got some kind of internet clout, I guarantee you this dude and others are milking and have milked whatever sort of little inkling of internet celebrity that they have. Look, Ralph has a child, an illegitimate child. Ethan Ralph, sorry, has an illegitimate child based solely on that. This broad, fucking Faith, went after him for clout. She was doing fundraisers and shit. This is all documented. She was a child. She fucking made mistakes, but the point still stands that she attached herself to this fucking blob of a human being because of his influence on this fake place that we are communicating right now. Entirely not real place, rather. So, yeah.
That is kind of another, and I mean, I guess we can kind of talk about the two and actually kind of through things, because I know that Mersh. I mean, sorry, not Mersh, but well, fuck. Here, okay, Apex. Here's the thing. I consider Mersh and Ralph to more or less be the same person. Gunt
Oh, not even
Senior
close.
and Gunt Senior and Gunt Junior. I call my new nickname for Mersh is Gunt Junior. But what I was going to say is, so it was a great week for me a couple of weeks ago, because right after Medicare, roasted Gunt Junior, uh, he decided, I guess, Rage Pig decided to pick a fight with Daddy Jim
No, that
on
was so good.
yeah, on Boulder Talk Radio,
Yeah,
which
Matt Jarbo's Boulder, which was just happenstance because Ralph was going on for like 2 hours on Twitter, basically begging Jim to come onto his show. And Jim tried to get him onto Flamenco's show. He refused. So Jim threw out Matt. And Matt just happened to be bored. Was like, let's do it. I'm down. And it was actually one of the most pathetic things I've heard in a long time. But it's very funny. But go ahead, sorry.
yeah, no, and I mean like really having not seen any of like the previous like kumites or anything like that, or seeing just like a small portion of it, I mean it was funny just to see Medicare go in there calmly, and then just to basically watch Ralph basically scream at him and lose his fucking mind
Oh
yet
yeah.
again for over an hour and a half.
Yeah, and yeah, you're missing a lot of lore there because I mean Jim has talked to admitted child molesters and shit that he. The only time I think I've ever heard him lose his cool when he was talking to that fucking I can't remember his name. Someone in chat will, but some admitted pedophile that worked with children. Um,
Oh yeah, that.
but yeah, but most of the time he goes in there trying to ask legitimate questions and of course memeing along the way. But yeah, Daddy Jim is not infallible though. He is
Well,
Ross. Thank you, Lorelai. His name is Ross.
well, listen, and this is, I mean, I guess this is what is so hilarious to me, kind of about the whole internet thing, right? Is I'm not infallible, you're not infallible, none of us are infallible, and yet so many of these weirdos like Owen, like Mersh, like Ralph, the one thing that they all have in common at the end of the day is that they all think they're infallible. Um, you know,
they all have their own versions of some sort of invisibility cloak. Where Mersh is coming out here saying, "I get hard, I get physically fucking horny when you mock me, when you point out my failures and how much of a bad person I am, and how much of a liar and piece of shit that I am." There's that, and then there's Ralph, who's fucking 5-star days, motherfucker. I'm out here getting my ass beaten fucking Portugal for no goddamn reason. Getting my purse stolen, 5-star days. Look at my horse-faced wife at table angle. For some reason, he takes every fucking picture at like from the table's perspective. She's ugly as shit, dude. She is very ugly. Fucking
Oh
pink
yeah,
too.
no,
Oh,
I've
go
seen
ahead.
photos. She makes my worst ex-girlfriend look like a 10.
She makes the old Willie turtle up a little bit, does she? Crawl up inside you. Yeah, no, she's horrifying. Uh, but you know what? They can't all be winners, and I would give Ralph. You know, I mean, I don't even know what it would take for me to give Ralph props. I just genuinely want Ralph to continue to do what he does. Ralph and Merch both. I want them to continue being what they are because they are better than anything anyone's ever written and put on television or on the big screen. They are complex. They are retarded beyond measure, and they are funny. They're not funny because they try to be. They're funny because they are. They're living clowns. And they have
Yeah.
deluded themselves into thinking that that's worth something. And I guess in a sense it is because I still I still laugh at them. But yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Well,
I genuinely hope they continue to do what they do forever.
well, Johnny actually brought up a pretty interesting point in chat that I hadn't thought of, but it's kind of interesting. He says Medicare, I think, played kind of dumb about what all he knew about Mersh and Owen when he talked to Porcelain. I think he pays more attention than he let on, at least to
Yeah,
Owen.
yeah, I think I kind of got the same feels because he he comes right out of the gate with wow this Owen character, and he pretty much paints him to a T, and he's like, but I don't really know. Yeah, like oh yeah, genuinely lost his mind, kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It could be. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, what the fuck does
I
Medicare got
mean,
to do other than sit in doctors' offices and explore internet drama and watch anime?
well, I mean, and also there is also the whole thing of like I had like IL friends, who aren't on the internet. Like at one point, Owen's Mania became like so well known that like even like normies knew about it, and
Yeah.
they were following the drama. Like they were kind of like, how did it even get this far? But still like people knew about it, and now Owen is just like I don't even know where that guy is at now. I don't. The only thing I know about Owen is that like I saw that like Milker Nation uh did like another stream on him or like another compilation or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, which we were both in chat for. But no, I'm pretty sure he still uses that whatever the gay guy channel, Terry and Gary or whatever the fuck
Oh
that
yeah,
is.
that one.
Oh yeah, Medicare did know about the turpentine too, so that's. I mean, but that was a big meme for Owen.
Yeah, I
Like that
mean,
that was a big thing.
yeah, that was another big one where like, and see, this is the other thing with Owen. Like, Owen does memes that are like so outrageous that you know they have to attract mainstream attention because it's like, what? How does this guy actually believe this?
Yeah.
Um,
Johnny asked if we've seen the clip of Owen defending the minor attracted persons letter that he got. I have not seen that. I wouldn't even know where to find that. That's horrifying.
Is Johnny, is this new, or is this something that we just like overlooked?
Or have seen and just have maybe forgotten about.
Yeah, I don't.
What? Oh fuck, dude. Chad, I'm sorry, and Sammy, I will be right back. I've got an issue.
Okay. Yeah, uh Apex is having to do with business. By the way, folks, I am kind of dealing with allergies, so I apologize with that. So, let's see. So it's on the Gary and Terry channel, huh? Let's see. Owen Benjamin. Let's see. Uh 1329. Okay, well I'll check YouTube first, and then if it's on BitChute, then let's see. Okay, I think I found it. So, let me see here. Oh geez, yeah, his beard is still scraggly.
All right, sorry, I'm back.
Oh yeah, no problem. While you were gone, I was just pulling up the stream that Johnny mentioned. So
good morning, everybody.
Holy shit.
So I guess the time
3:07. Yeah, at 3:07. 3 hours and 7 minutes exactly.
Okay. 3:07.
No, 3 hours and 7 minutes. So like towards the end.
Okay.
That'll work.
Letter has theology in it because the church boys love to sit around, with their pants off, stroking each other, talking about all these theories, but never putting it into place. Hello, Owen. Read this aloud to yourself. Read this aloud or to yourself. The choice is yours. Ironically, this person gave me a really nice super chat. But you see the humility there? It's like, do whatever you want with it. This is for you. That guy's like, listen, I'm not going to give you any money, but I'm going to call you a narcissist, and then I'm going to ramble about nothing for several pages.
Oof.
Don't worry.
Okay. Hold on,
don't worry
Sammy.
that you're
Time
not
out.
as based.
I don't know if I can listen to this. I'm going to be honest with you. Just his...
Yeah,
3 minutes and 7 seconds. Or 3 hours and 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, so it's... Yeah, okay. All right, well, I guess fucking go for it. Johnny says it's like 20 minutes long, but...
Yeah, I'm not gonna... I don't know if I'll be able to sit through the entire thing either. I mean,
he says it's worth our time. I'm gonna trust him. So go ahead.
Yeah.
As the other podcasters. I don't know what that means, Bowler Bear. All I know is you not attending Missouri meetups is very questioning. I question it. The nigger of Missouri. It's about Bowler Bear. The nigger in the Missouri. Oh, so you don't want to know the guys that just started a 6-man construction company with a 15-year-old apprentice? You don't want to know the guy who started fucking a seed company? What's the name of the seed company again, Slap Weasel? It's called like Grateful Health Seeds or some shit. It's a good name, but all right. A narcissist can't even see themselves in their own reflection, only selfishness. Interesting. Well, the irony about a narcissist is they don't actually exist. They're defined by what other people view them as. That's the irony.
Oh,
I bet the
incredible.
Trinity was in the letter. 100%. It was like, I believe. This is what I don't believe. This is what I... And they never tip. Well, I don't feel I had to. The tip is my knowledge. Yeah, I've had letters in this stream that had no tip in it that were awesome. Awesome. Because the letter itself brought value to the community. That brings no value to the community. That's nothing. Grateful harvest seeds. Yeah, exactly. All right, the choice is yours. Reason being is due to the nature of this being dark. You guys cool with the dark letter? I'll ask the chat. You can also opt to not read this at all. All right. Do you guys want to...
Now remember, the one thing about Owen is he can't not read stuff out loud.
Yeah, because he's retarded. But I'm actually trying to remember about 30 seconds back when he said something about narcissists don't exist because they're just what people say they are or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is that is the most Owenism I think I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, that is the Owenist of the Owenist, and it's pure self projection. I mean Owen talking a narcissism is like a black guy. You know, well,
Go on. Pull on that thread, buddy.
Bad example. I was gonna say it was like a black guy talking about being a black guy, but you know what? Like,
no, it's more like it's like the Tyrone Bigum's type of thing. It's like a black guy talking about white supremacy in a positive way.
Yeah, exactly.
Because but Owen's done that for fucking ever. But anyway, go ahead.
You guys want to hear this? You guys want to end with some darkness? Because, Joseph Conrad did write a book called The Heart of Darkness. It was previous work to his masterpiece, The Nigger of the Narcissus. Together, it's not quite a trilogy yet, but Ira circumcised himself and is sending a tip. I'm down, says Diffracted Gear. Dark's fine. It's Monday. I'm always down. There we go. As I write this, I'm trying to retain any strand of hope I can grasp. To keep this brief, I was exposed to porn when I was 10, when I was 5, and again when I was 10. I was sexually something by a family member. Same person beat me until I was about 13. I never had the courage to tell my parents. I've moved past it and have forgiven the person. I'm not using this as an excuse to justify my evil acts. I also don't carry a victim conscience about it. I am just a man that wants to get better and to have redemption for what I've done wrong. Porn usage and viewership for me has gotten to a point that is purely evil. I've seen a lot of bad things that I am ashamed of. I've never done things that I have seen, nor would I allow myself to. I would take my own life before letting that happen. In actual life, I never have the desires to do things I've seen. Yeah, this is super dark, but hang on. I want to overcome this, but don't know how to start. 17 years of porn use has led me here, and I'm to blame for it. I'm afraid of not being able to quit because that would mean I could never have kids of my own. Oh, this is dark, man. Oh, no, that's not what that necessarily means. Hang on. Because you don't want it in your house? Hang on. I'm sure that by saying that, you understand the nature of my evil. Yeah, I get it. Maybe I don't deserve the privilege of children. I want to believe I'm not a damn man. I've never done this evil, but seeing it is basically the same. Yeah, that's really bad, dude. It's honest. At least you're being honest. But, yeah, I don't think you should probably not have kids.
Pause it for a second.
And I'm not judging you, but...
Okay, yeah.
All right. So going by this toddler's reading of this person's letter that he wrote, he is stumbling through saying that he watched porn since he was 5 or 10 or 5 or 10. It may just be Owen's reading of it, but say he's been watching porn since he was 5 years old and been watching for the last 17 years, would make him a little bit younger than me, in his 30s, his young 30s. And he thinks his porn, maybe, you know what, maybe it's just me. I don't understand what porn addiction is. I understand watching porn and using it, but I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't know why I paused it. I wanted you to pause it because I had something relevant to say, but
I mean,
it seems less relevant now.
I mean, right? We have talked at this though. There are people kind of on Owen's kind of side of on Owen's spectrum that are like they are so obsessed with not masturbating and no-fap and whatnot that for them it is the equivalent of
it's a mental illness. It's just another mental illness. No-fap is bad. That is not good. It's not a good thing. It's not good. I mean, to be celibate is great. To strive for goals like that are good, but you can literally get prostate cancer and shit if you decide to not ejaculate until you have sex with a woman. For some of these fucking retards. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
Yeah.
You can't just what you watch is not a victimless crime. There's victims there, and you're part of that, and you're encouraging that. And if you can't stop that,
whoa, he literally just said that when you watch porn, it's not a victimless crime, and you are enabling the victim, the bad doers. So when you watch porn, you are you're suppressing, or you're whatever the fucking word that I can't come up with. You are doing harm to the people in that video. Effectively, is what he's saying, right?
Yeah. Well, and again, the way I'm looking at it,
I know it gets crazier than this, but I can't help it.
Yeah, no, and the way I'm looking at it, that's Owen projecting his own experience of looking at porn, possibly.
Yeah, we're 30 seconds in.
Man, I don't even know how to handle. I wouldn't even know how to handle that. But I understand. If you have any advice or guidance, I am all ears. Made this far, I thank you. If you have no advice for me and wish for me to stay away from your community, I will. I understand I have no right to ask this of you or anyone, but I have to try for anything that may work. Thanks. I'm 27, wanting this self-induced nightmare to end.
Oh, so the
10 years old.
Yeah,
so
the guy
since he was 10.
So the guy is my age then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the reality of the situation. It's just like a nightmare for these. I mean, that's a trauma cycle. I am not in a position to give you psychological advice. At least I don't know, man. That's a real, and it's a very, very, it's a lot more common than anybody wants to admit. I have friends in law enforcement, and they're like, the amount of consumption is nuts. I think prison would be a good place for you, and I mean that with love. I think you need to be away from that. If you can't stop it on your own, you should be in prison. But your honesty is refreshing, and I'm not judging you as a man. And feel free to listen to these streams, and hopefully it helps you and all that stuff. But that's, and don't get me wrong, they're in a much more moral world, watching any porn should put you in prison. Yeah, if it's compulsive, don't risk a little one by being... no. It's like, if you can't get a hold of that, you can't be a dad. No tech for a year and gardening to not have idle. Yeah, but it's way worse. It's not like fertile porn watching. And I know that I'm not making excuses for my previous porn addictions. But to crave a woman's mature body is way different than what that letter is referring to. And again, like, your honesty is refreshing, and I'm really glad that you've never acted on those impulses, but the fact
So far
you're
as
viewing
you know.
it and you can't stop viewing it is a real problem. Your love, and it's not your fault, but now that you know it's wrong, stop. He's always the people on the screen are victims. Yeah, he's always it's trauma cycle from his own childhood. Because the way I'm not a psychiatrist, it's all good. But his this is what I think from my life experience. His sexuality was wired to think that youth has to do with sex. And it's like put in a weird corner in his head, and it just won't stop going away. And that sucks, dude. That's why I don't have any answers. Yeah, fasting, prayer.
Which, I mean, that's kind of how Owen's brain is wired. That's kind of how I'm interpreting this whole thing.
Yeah. So far, this is one of the least crazy things that I've heard Owen say. But again, I'm used to years of just projecting at this point. So
understand that there's victims on the others. I bet I would never have been able to stop watching pornography if I didn't know porn star girls. When you know them and you know how terrible their lives are, it makes it way easier. Because you can glamorize porn and think like, oh, these girls are crushing it. They're independent. They're not. They're broken. And so like when you're dealing in the realm that he's dealing with, that's really, really bad. And what you're doing is a crime, and you should be in prison for that. But I'm not judging your soul, and your attitude is good, but just being honest doesn't stop what you're doing. And there is a society where the porn I've consumed should put me in prison. But our society isn't that moral yet. That's why I'm trying to be, I'm trying to live in a way that would be okay in that world. The world I want, not the one that I'm in. Like right now, watching adult heterosexuals have sex on camera is a sin that should put you in jail. But I'm not in jail because no one would want to put me in jail for that because everyone does it. Now there's an increasing amount of people that are consuming child pornography. That's, for those of you that don't understand, that's what we're referring to. And my friends-in-law,
I don't think the guy directly referred to that though in his letter, did he? Or did I miss that? Or
I didn't catch that part.
yeah, it seems to me like Owen.
Oh, Sammy, I don't know if it's just me, but you're roboting hard.
Why do they feel the need to qualify them? Am I roboting or?
You're in and out, man. You're fine now, but you've been roboting for a second. For me, anyway.
I think I'm good. Yeah.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and play this fucking thing.
Yeah.
law enforcement tell me it's really bad. Like, they're catching it all the time now to a point where they don't even know what to do. That's why the only answer is literally your community, how good of a father you are. Anything other than that is not possible. Medical sterilization. Yeah, I'm for that. I think that taking pills that take away your ability to get an erection is a good option. Prison.
Yeah, because that's the only way to sexually fucking
I don't
assault
believe in
somebody.
suicide.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah, this man is a moron. I mean, I'll ask John. Did we pretty much cover the whole point of the clip, or is there more?
I think
I
there's
mean,
more, and he suggested that we watch it on our. We didn't necessarily have to do it on stream, but we know the timestamp, and we should watch it on our own time. Which
yeah,
I may have my own clips to make. Reboot up the old Owen commentary.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
he said you're 2 minutes into a 20-minute clip, so we could
Oh.
just watch. We could just watch the next 18 minutes without saying anything, or we could move on and direct the audience to the stream and the channel.
yeah. I mean, I might. So I might do like a reaction video separate to this if it's like 20 minutes long, like I did with the whole.
I am
whole
curious. Based on the first 2 minutes, I am curious.
I mean, do you want to keep going? I'm
Let's
for
go.
it.
Just put it on.
So.
Put it on. Fucking. Put it on like
2x.
One. Not even two. Not one. Not 2x. But like what? 7.5 or whatever.
Oh yeah, one. Yeah, one. Okay.
Side. But it's because again, in the world I want to live in, my former
1.5
porn consumption and how I would feel if I watched it right now, you're never past it, should put me in jail. So I'm not putting myself above you in that sense, but that level of sexual degeneracy, it can't continue like how it is. And although I have compassion for someone who was exposed young, his brain was wired that way. He's a victim in a victim cycle. He's not doing it in his real life. Because we're going to see more and more and more of this, guys, because consuming porn at a young age can do this to your head. I'm really, really glad that it began Pat wrong soon. Denmark Bear, I think he should be chemically castrated and put in jail. All right. Like, I'm not taking it easy on the guy. That being said, we're going to be seeing this more and more. The people are going to have these feelings and they're going to be like, why is my brain like this? It's because of that HD fucking digital porn that you're exposed to when you should not have been exposed to. And that really does fuck up your head. Back in the day, it was being molested, which doesn't make you a pedophile, by the way. Doesn't. Plenty of people have been molested and do not have any attraction to children.
1.25.
But that's the way the seed is spread. Now you can use fucking screens. Okay? And so Denmark Bear says, be gone, pedo wrong soon. I get that. No, but the way he's handling it, I'm going to give him my best advice I possibly can. Because he with no sin cast the first stone. We're in a very deranged society. Guys, you watch the football. If you watch the Super Bowl yesterday, you consume child porn. You watch Netflix, you consume child porn. All right.
So
holy shit.
So okay, I see. So he's taking the Charlie Kirk route on things, basically.
Yeah, Owen is, I've said this for literally years at this point. Owen has always had kernels of truth in the shit that he spirals on and on and on about. There's always some actual real shit that you should know. Most people do, but not everyone does. It's typically the type of, outside of urban living shit you learn as a little kid that he's, anyway, that's all he is. He's what kids learn in the country as toddlers, as little kids. He's transposing on the internet to adults that, in the same way a child would. He's a giant retard. Anyway, go ahead.
By the way, I do want to point out here that, like, in my suggested list, the two top videos I have are the Joey Diaz episode where Owen gets dosed, and then Milker Nation's video on Owen Benjamin versus James True, which that is the weirdest. Well, that is one of the weirdest sagas ever. But
that far down the road. You know, you're watching girls with maximally adolescent bodies dressing in sexually provocative clothing. Fact. That's on the Super Bowl fucking halftime show or like commercials or any of that stuff. It's constant. And that's an event that you're supposed to show to the whole family. You sound like he's in pain and knows what he's doing is wrong. He has the power to change. Yeah, I'm rooting for you, dude. I'm rooting for you. You should feel like an outcast. You should not, like, you're not welcome in this community in the sense of bear meetups and support and stuff like that. You're not there. I think you should be in jail. But on a bigger picture, on a spiritual level, I'm currently on the same spectrum as you of trauma, porn, sexual problems. Everyone is on some level. It's the whole reason why Steven Crowder has no effect at fighting back against the LGBT.
He literally just said, you should be in jail for your transgressions for watching things on the internet. But literally me and everybody else, literally everybody, according to Owen, is on the same spectrum in some way, shape, or form. So why shouldn't we all be in jail, Owen?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and then he brings up the Crowder thing.
LGBT, because he doesn't realize that putting his wife on hormone blockers so she didn't get pregnant. Looking back, I don't even know if they've ever had sex, but it's the same spectrum. Sex for pleasure is a fallen state. It's very pleasurable. You can always have sex for pleasure, but it's in marriage and the purpose is procreation.
Okay, yeah, sex for pleasure.
Sure. But then, I mean, if you want to be that puritanical about it, you can. You really can. But it's easy to do in retrospect. It's easy to look back and say, yeah, I fucked a bunch of girls and guys because I'm a faggot. And, Christina Ricci was the best I'd ever get. And now I've got some other fucking hobbit bitch that's pumping out kids for me because she's not nearly as famous. She needed my clout. And now she's pumping out my kids. And look, we got this goat farm and blah, blah, blah. So he's got some moral superiority to what he thinks normal people are. It's just like those. It's like the same kind of people that post pictures of the tractors up in Canada and be like, working class people, quote unquote. These tractors cost $200,000 a piece. No, these are small businesses. You fucking retard. It's just a complete detachment from reality. But anyway.
So to do the whole pull out and fucking, pill, you're on the same spectrum as homosexuality, which is on the same spectrum as pedophilia. Now, I think there is a major chasm between prepubescent and postpubescent, because prepubescent has to do with innocence, and the hatred of innocence and the corruption of innocence is the hatred of God. And I know heterosexuals that are the same way, though, like wanting a girl to wear pigtails and a little Catholic girl's outfit and call you daddy and baby and all this stuff. That's pedophilia. If you really look at it, that's pedophile.
Whoa,
why do you find it sexy that a girl dresses like a little kid? That's fucking crazy.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with that one. I'm not. Go ahead. Continue.
We're not even 10 minutes into, and again, this is the thing with Owen. He just says so much crazy batshit stuff.
I'm actually looking forward to
that's pedophile. Why do you call someone baby? And I'm not trying to do it to chastise the world. It's to understand that we're all in this fucking fallen state of depravity. And until you can admit that to yourself, you can't get better. This guy has done more than what a lot of people who consume porn have done, and he's admitted it's wrong. Now, we can all see that child porn is infinitely worse than adult porn, but it's all wrong. And so having that crumpled Playboy in your park bathroom is on the same spectrum. It's still porn. It's still fallen. It's still reprobate. Years ago, watching Nickelodeon Disney shows with my nieces, I couldn't believe the overly sexualization of these girls, and I felt I was the sicko for no. Yeah, think about how many people go to a Miley Cyrus concert or any of these things that, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all these girls were 14. And yeah, there is a difference between 14 and 9 when it comes to puberty.
Yeah, no, they weren't.
Okay, if there's a difference between 14 and 9, Owen just said, in terms of puberty. All right. But yeah, no, they weren't.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
But it's really gross. Calling people baby was always weird. The BB in chat is now BB for Big Bear, so that spell is broken. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and I'm talking about behavior I've done, because unless you can see it in yourself, you can't judge others. The reason I judge...
So Apex, when you call your girlfriend and say, "Hey, baby," you're a pedophile now for using that terminology, according
Yeah.
to this fucking moron.
Yeah, you know. I got nothing for that.
pedophiles, even if they've never acted out like this man claims. And I don't even know if that's true, by the way. He could be lying. I don't know. I'm just giving my opinion because I've never had anyone ask me this before. I've never had a brush with something like this in my entire life. I've never had someone who watches child porn send me a letter like that. And I'm glad we're doing this. Because just saying kill the pedo isn't really the answer.
Yes,
because what about you? What about what you've done? And until we get to a point where we can say porn is evil, you know, sexualizing children is evil. Children should not be on a stage.
I mean,
yeah, he's straight up equating child pornography and watching children be fucked and molested and tortured to just your average, let me pull up fucking X Hamster or Pornhub or whatever and jerk off real quick. They're the same thing. That's what Owen's saying. That's what it sounds like to me, anyway.
No, yeah, that is what it sounds like.
I'm not. Look, hold on. Before you go any further, porn is depraved, and watching porn is depraved. But they're not. It's not even close to the same level of depravity. That's like comparing punching someone in the face to dismembering them in front of their children and making them watch, and then murdering the children. You know what I mean? Like they're wildly disparate. Yes, they're both acts of violence, but they're on totally different spectrums of violence. Like the oversimplification is just another hallmark of him. But go ahead.
Sorry, banged your mom says this is still worse. I'm putting wax in my ears and lead in my
Oh, do it. Wax in his ear and lead in his brain. Go ahead, man.
Let's see. He's comparing Jimmy Savile to a Britney Spears concert, is what Johnny says.
Dancing. He seems haunted by the thoughts. Oh, 100%. He's definitely thought about killing himself. And he's not making the excuse that he was molested or was exposed to porn. He knows that isn't an excuse. Now, that could be causal, but it's not an excuse. Everybody's been traumatized. Everybody has been exposed to shit where they have weird fetishes or desires or whatever. The fact yours is about the innocent, which is why this thing passes, is worse. Way, way, way worse. And I think you should be in prison so that you don't spread. That being said, I'm not judging your soul. And I don't think people realize how fallen we already are. And how every one of us, in order to fight our own, draw to porn, or our own draw to masturbating, or like promiscuity, or these weird kinks, like dress like a schoolgirl. Really? Why?
Who cares?
Fantasizing about fucking little girls?
Who fucking cares?
Until you can see it in yourself and you can't effectively fight other people. The reason he sent me that letter is because I've reached him. Because I've addressed this.
Again, it's I with this guy.
Yeah, no. He's reaching out to you because it's easy. It's easy to do. And he made this I genuinely believe if that person is even real and what they say is real, that they genuinely want to change. But they're not doing a fucking thing about it. If they're writing letters to Owen goddamn Benjamin, they've not been to a therapist. They've not been to a doctor. Maybe they have, but I would argue they almost certainly have not. They're looking for absolution, and Owen is giving it to him right now. He's comparing this person who is a potential pedophile, literally potentially a pedophile, someone who admittedly watches and is, gets erotic, whatever, from child pornography. And he is comparing that. He's across the board leveling the playing field with everybody else that watches porn. He's making this person feel like he's normal.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like we're all fucking fallen, right? We're all in this fallen world. We all watch porn. It's not good. But what you do, you should be in jail. But it's the same thing as all these other people do, including me, have done, right? Hands up, kind of. Dude, this is this is I don't know that I want to watch this. This is firing me up, man. Go ahead, say whatever.
Back to the good old days of Sandman Gamma butchering Owen.
In my own life, and so he knows that that's just on the spectrum of that. By killing the monster, you come close to becoming. Oh yeah. That was one of the cool storylines of Lost. Is the Sawyer character, where his father killed his mother and then killed himself because a con man tricked the woman into fucking him and then giving all the money. And he was a little boy, and he dedicated his whole life to tracking down the monster and killing him because he took his parents. And in doing that, he started conning women into getting him money. And he literally became the guy he was hunting. And that is biblically accurate as well as literary. Today's TV is porn in any other age. 100%. What you watch on TV right now would be porn 10 years ago. Like, it would be illegal.
So let me ask you this.
That's
Owen.
true. That's actually true.
I mean, yeah, but then one could also argue, so who's watching your stream porn, Owen? Since that's all some people watch, if we're gonna take it to extremes, then
Yeah. Again, it's just this broad, like he's done this for years, where it's like just he tries to level the playing field over one transgression. Like, oh, just you watch porn, you're basically a pedophile. Well, okay, in this case, you watch pedophilic porn, well, you're basically the same as everybody else. And you're all bad. Everybody's bad. You're fucking bad. I was bad, but now I've got the wisdom to tell you now that what I did was bad, and therefore what you're doing now is bad. I'm above you. It's always this I'm better than because I've been there sort of thing. It's the same fucking playbook for years now.
Well, and not just that, but also and this also goes back to the whole Medicare porcelain stream, and porcelain mentioned this in regards to Owen, and he's absolutely right that Owen, whenever he is confronted by someone who calls him out on his bullshit, he does the move that all of the right-wing SJWs do, which is anyone I don't like is automatically a pedophile, right? Like that's kind of like the Nazi thing, but for the right. If you don't agree with me, you're a pedo, basically.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So.
And I'm not, by God, I am not justifying this guy's behavior. It makes me sick. Like, literally sick. Like, I hate it. I hate it. But it's not effective to just go, he the bad man. Well, what are you doing? Are you normalizing it? Until you can get at the root of the cause, like the whole, the root of it, you can't even address it. Hey man, just started listening to you after Amazing Polly's whiny vid about you. You're interesting. I like you. Thank you. Yeah, I much loved Amazing Polly for promoting me.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
Her whole audience aren't cutarded retards. Like, they're going to be like, I've questioned the trucker thing too. I'm going to go check him out. And now they listen to me. Revenge is for the Lord. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think this guy should be in prison. I think consuming child porn is enabling it to happen. Consuming adult porn enables human sex trafficking.
Again, not on the same spectrum at all.
No.
And this letter is very, very powerful to everybody, hopefully, that can literally sit down and not justify it, not normalize it, but like, what are you doing that could be seen as disgusting? He's walking the valley of shadows and death. God's left is his side, which is why he feels so weakened. The answer is always spiritual healing. He needs God to walk with him again. Fast, pray as much as possible. Yeah, and forgive yourself. A lot of times those type of feelings are you want to punish yourself as a kid. You might have forgiven your aggressor, but you haven't forgiven yourself for having maybe sexual feelings when it happened or letting yourself get in that situation, not telling your parents. You haven't forgiven yourself. And so this current cycle of child porn that he's on, he's watching himself. He hates himself as a child because there's nothing sexual about child porn. There's nothing sexual about pedophilia. They're innocent. It's a cycle of abuse. There's nothing sexual. Let's all be honest. There's nothing sexual about anal sex or blowjobs. That's not sex. That's not the craving of like fertility. It's weird.
What a faggot, dude.
This guy is just he's all over the place, but he normalizes I mean in a weird way, even though he's against it, he's basically normalized it by saying we're all messed up. So
again, he's leveling the playing field. He's trying to say that watching child pornography is just as non-sexual as watching pornography. Like if you just watch porn, two adults having sex on camera is the same thing, effectively, as watching an adult have sex with a child. He's saying they're both equally depraved. Again, he's done this forever. They're clearly not the same thing. Not even close. Yes, they are both bad. You could quantify them as not good. But the spectrum on which they lie on the not good scale is so fucking wildly disparate. It's not even quantifiable in words that I could conjure in my halfway drunk and fairly tired brain right now.
Yeah. I don't know, Johnny, are there any more key highlights to this?
No, let's kill this motherfucker.
Let's kill
Thank
this
you.
thing.
Thank you, Owen, for yet another just mind-melting fucking clip. I genuinely would look forward to doing some actual commentary on that, but I don't think I ever will because I'm lazy, Sam. Audience, chat, I'm too lazy.
Meadow, we haven't talked to Owen in probably about a year or so.
It's been a long time.
It's
been a long time. That was pretty concise, so.
It has been a long time. We used to do 5-hour streams on that. So
God, don't remind me.
So
Anyway, Canada's gonna burn. All of Ghislaine Maxwell's associates are gonna kill themselves in prison.
China's gonna win the Olympics through cheating, probably.
No, well, China. I'll tell you what China's not gonna win is World War III, because paper tiger. That's what they are. A facade, my friend.
What about Russia and Ukraine? And I guess that's one more thing we can cover before we kill this bitch of a stream. I mean, I don't know what's going to be going on, but I don't trust Biden really to lead the military.
Yeah, well, I saw Ukraine tweeted out that you're only gay if you invade Russia, and then Russia retreated to Serbia. So, checkmate.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I'm tired.
Yeah, all I can say is Dementia Joe isn't competent to ruin the thing. So
I'll tell you what, old crackhead Hunter, he might have just enough connections to really get some shit done over in Ukraine, though.
I mean, maybe Crackhead Hunter will turn out useful after all. Who knows? So
maybe he'll crack some heads. Maybe he'll crack some heads, huh?
And no, fella, I don't think you upset Matt last night. I think once he realized that you were just trolling him, then he kind of calmed down a bit. So, but anyway, chat, thank you for tuning in, and thanks to those of you who listened and or watched this, and we'll see you next
chat.
show. So
I love you all very much, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm underwater. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, Sammy. Good night, chat.
And I'm sorry for being crippled, as always. Good night, folks.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order. Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.